Ladies and gentlemen, this is Union Wrestling, and you're about to see an hour of the best grappling action from the UK. Hello there, grappling fans. Welcome back to a new episode of Union Wrestling right here on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Union Wrestling here. Welcome back to this Saturday's edition. We have in the blue corner Liam Kendol from the northeast going against pretty Nicky Star in the red corner. Both wrestlers from the northeast. Liam Kendol we have seen before on a couple of occasions now. A good wrestler himself. Nicky Star we haven't seen before today, so we'll have to see how he does today. Ever watchful eye in the top right hand corner of the screen is our judge Marty Jones, former 7-time World Wrestling Champion, the heavy middleweight title on several occasions, fought between himself and Mark Rollerball Rocco, and including Dafydd Finley. Some excellent bouts between legendary World of Sport wrestler Marty Jones there. And in the black and white today, we have returning 4-star referee from Stourbridge. It's referee Thomas Phillpotts. Great to see him back and in his place. And here we have the opening contest of this episode in round 1. And Liam Kendol with an overhead headlock takeover, going for the early submission in round 1. Reversed into leg scissors by Pretty Nicky. And straight out into a side headlock. Or a reverse side headlock. He's upside down there. Certainly getting the elbow underneath the chin of Pretty Nicky. Into a side headlock position. And again, thank you everyone for returning here to our Saturday edition of Union Wrestling. We thank each and every one of you for coming back. And if you're here for the first time, thanks for taking the time to watch our video here. We hope you enjoy the episode. If you do like the episode, remember to give us a like and a subscribe as well to see more wrestling content. Oh! Good arm snatch there by Liam Kendol. But to no avail, only barely a 2 count there. Pretty Nicky able to get out of that predicament quite easily. Collar and elbow tie up into the corner. Referee Thomas Phillpotts administering a 5 count. So that 5 count, for those of you who don't know, if a wrestler does not yield within the 5 seconds that the referee applies that count, it will result in a public warning. That's a yellow card for those of you who've watched previous episodes, and 3 public warnings does equal a disqualification. Waistlock, Pretty Nicky. I think that waistlock is going to come to no avail there. Liam Kendol's got at least a stone or 2 on Pretty Nicky, throwing him around easily. Reversal there to his own waistlock. Front face headlock by Liam Kendol. Applying the forearm to the side of the neck area of Nicky Star, reducing the blood flow to his brain. And of course, with that happening, there is a possibility of him losing some brain function, but from the comments we've heard from Pretty Nicky so far, I don't think it's going to be much. Okay then, Liam Kendol coming back in, and Pretty Nicky swipes his leg away. Not even a 1 count. Pretty Nicky's going to have to do a lot more than that to get Liam Kendol on the mat.
Come on everyone, Kendol!
And remember, if you do want to keep in touch with Union Wrestling, we do have our social media accounts, including our Facebook account and Instagram account. Just search Union Wrestling on either and give us a like on that. Headlock takeover. Straight to the mat. Basic wrestling there, but a great manoeuvre. Puts absolute pressure on the back of the neck of Nicky Star. Nearly in a pinning predicament. 10 seconds out from end of round 1. Some basic stuff here. Back elbow there, trying to get out. Pretty Nicky is. And a big shoulder check at the end of the round. And we'll be right back for round 2 after this message. Hello Grapple fans, come and see a night of international professional wrestling in Wrexham on Friday 8th of August at the Havod Colliery Social Centre in Trwst Llanelchfigog. See the top stars of Union Wrestling including Joshua Kemper, the British heavy middleweight champion Slim Jim Brennan, Tommy Jupiter, Jesse Dynamite and many more. Tickets are available now at unionwrestling.co.uk. The price of a ticket is of the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Get your tickets now!
Commence round 2.
And there you have it. We are going to Wrexham on the 8th of August, Friday 8th of August, the beginning of the football season in the Championship. We'll see Wrexham AFC in Tier 2 of the football pyramid for the first time in many years, I think 20 years nearly. And we will be in Wrexham for that weekend of the initiation of Wrexham AFC into the Championship. We may even see Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool coming along to watch his favourite wrestling show. You never know. Also included on that show is Joshua Kemper, Slim Jim Brennan, Tommy Jupiter, Jesse Dynamite and many other names to be announced. So if you want tickets for that show, unionwrestling.co.uk. And back to the action. Liam Kendol is certainly the aggressor at the opening of round 2. And Nicky Star there with an interesting way of throwing his opponents across the ring. And a big hip toss. Great elevation there by Liam Kendol, getting Pretty Nicky way up into the air for that hip toss. That's great technique there. Ducks the clothesline. And Liam Kendol, forearms to Pretty Nicky's face. Slamming him to the floor. I don't think Pretty Nicky's going to do much in this. Big scoop slam. Hard slam there, and that's going to be a 3. And a 2 count. Only a 2 count. Pretty Nicky kicking out. That's good going on Pretty Nicky. And Liam Kendol going back to slam him higher. He's going... Not quite. Oh, rake of the eyes. Rake of the eyes there. And there, Thomas Phillpotts, the referee, administering a public warning against Pretty Nicky. Nicky, sticking his fingers in the eyes of Liam Kendol, gives him his first public warning, and not allowing his man up. Pretty Nicky stomping, really laying in those boots to Liam Kendol there. I'm surprised there might be a possibility of another public warning against Pretty Nicky. And Pretty Nicky trying to squeeze the air out of Liam Kendol. And takes him to the mat. Liam Kendol looks like he's seeing stars there.
One more time and you get another one off the ropes. Come on.
Oh, come on, referee. I think that's a bit blatant. It's right in front of you there. Thomas Phillpotts being very generous, allowing Pretty Nicky not to receive his second public warning there. And later in the programme, we have an international Japanese wrestling superstar from Pro Wrestling Heat in Japan. It's their heavyweight champion, Tamura Generation. He will be in action later this evening on the programme. He will be going against England's and Britain's one of the toughest wrestlers to ever step foot in a British ring. It's Kevin Lloyd. That'll be a great matchup coming later on in the programme. We're 5 seconds out the round 2 now. And the score is 0-0. We have no score so far. Liam Kendol showing aggression there. And certainly giving the same treatment back to Pretty Nicky as he received. Right then, we'll be back with round 3 right after this.
That's what I need you to do. I need you to like, share and subscribe. Oh yeah.
And a quick message there from
Round 3.
Thomas Blood. Like, share and subscribe if you like the wrestling content. By all means, give it a share to anyone who you know loves their wrestling. Without your support out there... Oh! Big front drop kick by Pretty Nicky sends Liam Kendol to the floor. That could be 3, but no, just a 2 count. Yeah, if you do know of anyone who likes their wrestling, by all means share this. The only way we can grow our channel together is by getting it out there for people to know. So we do appreciate each and every single one of you who has supported us so far in the last couple of months. We do appreciate you, and it really gives us great enjoyment and encouragement to produce more wrestling content for you the more this channel grows. And in recent weeks it has started to gain traction, so we do thank each and every one of you out there for your support. So back to round 3. I see that Pretty Nicky's asking the referee how many yellows he's got, and he says that he's only got 1. He's allowed up to 3, of course, but he's on the top rope, and that is considered out of bounds in British wrestling rules. And crossbody from the top rope, and Pretty Nicky knew what was coming. He measured that up. Second and final public warning goes to Nicky Star. He knew what he was doing there, taking an advantage from the top rope, and he rolls him up for the 3, and he does. Using the advantage of being out of bounds from the top rope, knocking Liam Kendol to the floor and gaining the first pinfall. Good tactics by Pretty Nicky, I guess. We'll be back right after this.
Come on, guys, like, share, and subscribe.
And we're into round 4. It's 1-0 to Pretty Nicky. Liam Kendol is yet to score, and 2 public warnings go against Pretty Nicky. And as you saw in the break there, we saw Tommy Jupiter, who will be in action in next week's main event. There will be an 8-man gauntlet match, or 6-man gauntlet match, sorry, 8-man gauntlet match, sorry. That will be shown next week on the main event of next week's programme for the Beat the Champion title. That title is now vacant after Slim Jim Brennan last week went undefeated through the whole tournament and won £1,000 by beating Frankie Sloan. He's the only ever person to get that far into the tournament and win a prize purse. He didn't go for the double, he didn't go for the 6th leg to win the 2,000. He settled at 5 legs and £1,000, but he won the £1,000 and immediately donated 10% of that straight. Oh, big suplex there by Liam Kendol. And immediately donated 10% of that to a local charity. So next week, big gauntlet match to see who is the new Beat the Champion. Tommy Jupiter's name is in the hat. Oh, what's Liam Kendol doing here? Reverse DDT. Reverse DDT by Liam Kendol. That looked painful. And that's the 3 count. And the equalising fall goes to Liam Kendol. Excellent move there. Certainly, well, not just to knock him out, but knock him out for a few more than a 3 count. Nicky Star is seeing stars. Back after this.
I'm Ryan Ace, and you are watching Union Wrestling on YouTube.
Commence round 5.
And round 5, we've got 2 rounds to go in this contest. The 2 possible rounds in the contest. The score is 1-all. Liam Kendol there, taking the rules to the brink. Slamming Pretty Nicky's head into the turnbuckle, and then use it. They are open palm strikes, they're not close fists, but they are in the corner. I think the referee Thomas Phillpotts there is allowing Liam Kendol to gain some traction there. Marty Jones says, oh, over, fall away slam by Liam Kendol. Should get a 3 count after that one. And only a 2 count.
Only a 2 count. Come on, try again.
Liam Kendol trying to go for a step over toe. No, he's trying to go for a figure 4, but he can't quite get it locked in. He's got the step over on. The step over toe is there, but he can't hook in for the figure 4. It's quite messy, that. It looks like he's putting the figure 4 down, lower down, much lower down the anatomy of Nicky Star, more over his ankle than his knee. But certainly Pretty Nicky cannot reach Liam Kendol to break the hold. And I don't think that's completely locked in. That's not giving the full force of the figure 4. And Liam Kendol is forced to break the hold.
Go on, Kendol. Kendol! 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 Kendol!
And on next week's show, we also have a big announcement to make regarding a possibility of one of the great 7 British championships coming to Union Wrestling. So if you come here next Saturday, there'll be a big announcement here on one of the big 7. Exciting times for Union Wrestling, and only possible through the European and British Wrestling Commission, and obviously a representative for us here at Union Wrestling is Marty Jones. So much appreciated, and all the work Marty Jones has been doing in the background in getting Union Wrestling in. Hey, whoa, hang on a minute, that's got to be a public warning. And it is. Pretty Nicky pushing the rules a bit too far there. That's the third and final public warning.
Which means a red card.
And that's a disqualification. He had it coming. He shouldn't have done that top rope manoeuvre. He shouldn't have done that crossbody off the top. He'd have been safe then. And that was the risk he took. He got the pinfall from using that top rope manoeuvre. But in the end, it's cost him the match. And the winner this week is Liam Kendol. Pardon me. Right, we'll be back after this, ladies and gentlemen. If you would like to raise money for your school, club or civic group, and you'd like to see the excitement of Union Wrestling live in your hometown, then this message is for you. School PTAs, sports societies and teams, PE departments, civic groups or any groups wishing to raise money, then bring the stars of Union Wrestling to your town for a night of top-class wrestling action and receive a percentage of the gate. Email us with your inquiry at info@unionwrestling.co.uk for more information. Union Wrestling and your group, an unbeatable tag team.
This contest will be wrestled over 6 4-minute rounds.
And welcome back to Union Wrestling here on YouTube. This is tonight's main event for this episode. We have international wrestling superstar Tamura Generation, who is the Pro Wrestling Heat heavyweight champion. That's Japan's Pro Wrestling Heat heavyweight champion. He's going against Britain's Kevin Lloyd. Kevin Lloyd trained in the Snake Pit Wrestling Gym in Wigan, a much accomplished wrestler, but so is Tamura. Tamura, you could call it definitely a veteran of wrestling, has been wrestling across the world for the last 20 years. This Japanese wrestling star is amazingly born in 1980. He's well into his 40s. He's 45. He looks like a 25-year-old. He wrestles like a 25-year-old. Strong as an ox, fit as a bull, and this man can wrestle. Absolute veteran, and he's going against Kevin Lloyd, who's got 10 years on Tamura. Kevin Lloyd in his mid-30s, and a very experienced wrestler himself for the last 15 years. And as you can see, Kevin Lloyd straight into the mat-based grappling. That's his strength. Taking Tamura over, getting him down on the mat as quick as he can. Grabbing an arm, grabbing a leg. And when he can't get hold of anything, moving towards the rope for the referee, Thomas Phillpotts, to break the hold. Excellent wrestling skills by both men here. Certainly a pleasure to see Tamura Generation in the United Kingdom. And we do thank Tamura for travelling across the UK and gracing us here at Union Wrestling. It is a real treat to see such an international star as Tamura. Ooh. Armlock roll takeover there. And Kevin Lloyd going back to manipulate the elbow joint on the right arm of Tamura, positioning his body weight above Tamura's body, and then trying to get the body scissors there, but unsuccessful. Tamura rolled over to get out of that predicament, and Kevin Lloyd pushing himself back into a position where he's going for the elbow joint of Tamura. And with quick takedowns there by Kevin Lloyd. He's always feeling a loose elbow or a loose knee. Tamura spinning out of this arm lock and puts his wrist lock on to Kevin Lloyd. I think Tamura's going to have to put a bit more than a wrist lock on for Kevin Lloyd, because Kevin Lloyd can get out of those with his eyes closed and his legs tied behind his back. Maybe not in this instance. Kevin Lloyd using a rope break there. That's unlike Kevin. Kevin Lloyd, very proficient wrestler, and I think he's quite worried that he's met a match here. Tamura is a very accomplished technical wrestler himself. He wrestles in so many different styles, but he can meet and match the best wrestlers in the world in any style. And if he's coming to the United Kingdom for the mat-based wrestling that Kevin Lloyd offers him, I think Tamura is showing that he's just as good and just as experienced as Kevin Lloyd.
Is it Kevin Lloyd? Is it Tamura?
And the crowd in favour of Tamura by the looks of it. The home British crowd are looking like they're favouring the international star Tamura Generation. Kevin Lloyd seems a little bit annoyed with that, and I'm not too surprised. Tamura, interesting tactic there by Tamura, allowing Kevin to grab hold of his leg and then puts him in to a leg grapevine. He's trying to get some sort of crossover there. He's trying to get some sort of Indian deathlock by the looks of it, but we're only a few seconds out by the end of the round. I think Tamura's going to run out of time here, and there goes the bell. And that's the end of the round.
1 seconds in, wrestlers to your corners.
That's it. We'll be back after this for round 2.
Kev Lloyd.
Hello, Grapple fans. Come and see a night of international professional wrestling in Wrexham on Friday, 8th of August at the Havard Colliery Social Centre in Torst Llanachrigog. See the top stars of Union Wrestling, including Joshua Kemper, the British heavy middleweight champion Slim Jim Brennan, Tommy Jupiter, Jesse Dynamite and many more. Tickets are available now at unionwrestling.co.uk. The price of a ticket is on the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. Get your tickets now!
Commence round 2.
And the seconds are out of the ring. So we commence round 2. Kevin Lloyd straight for a leg takedown there. Spinning over to a front face headlock. Tamura reversing into a waist lock. And then again into a front face headlock by Tamura. This is so quick. These lads are quicker than a hiccup. Tamura holding on to that front face headlock. Kevin Lloyd fighting out of it. He's trying to find a loose arm or a loose leg to grab hold of, and there we go. Kevin Lloyd trying to spin out. Tamura spinning around with him, keeping hold of that front face headlock, but then Kevin Lloyd now on top. Kevin Lloyd now has a side headlock. Certainly a front, like a face lock from the side at least. From this position it does look like some sort of crossface. And now Kevin Lloyd back on his favourite body part. It's that shoulder to elbow joints. Tamura with the head scissors, pulling Kevin Lloyd over, and a reverse hammerlock. Well, he's trying to get some sort of hammerlock on, pushing the arm of Kevin Lloyd up his back, bending that elbow joint using Kevin Lloyd's own weight to try and push that joint apart, but Kevin Lloyd going for the rope break again rather than, as a purist wrestler as Kevin Lloyd is, trying to go for a reversal. He's opted to go for a rope break, which I know it's a part of the rules and it is allowed, and Thomas Phillpotts is applying those rules properly, but I think from a purist wrestler standpoint you would hope to try and see Kevin Lloyd use his skills to get out of the hold rather than just a simple rope break. But Kevin Lloyd now really showing his worth. And drag Tamura over. Tamura reverses into his own wrist lock.
2 minutes gone, around 2 minutes to go.
Kevin Lloyd dropping the elbow right at the point of the knee. Bending the knee now. Kevin Lloyd changing tactics from Tamura's arm. Short arm scissors there by Tamura now. Now Tamura's focusing on the arm and the elbow joint of Kevin Lloyd. Rear chin lock by Kevin Lloyd. Trying to starve Tamura of oxygen. And then again into a front face headlock. For the first time in this round, these two men are in an upright position. That's how hard these lads have been wrestling. Tamura sliding up and under. And a roll up. Will he get Kevin Lloyd to the floor? No. Kevin Lloyd pinning predicament here. Reversal. Kevin Lloyd grabs the knees of Tamura. Bridge over. An excellent pin. An excellent pin there by Kevin Lloyd. Excellent. I mean, that is textbook. A bridge over. Tamura's legs over his body, using both wrestlers' weight to push the shoulders into the canvas. 1-0 to Kevin Lloyd. Back after this message.
I'm Ryan Ace, and you are watching Union Wrestling on YouTube.
Commence wrestling round 3.
And welcome back, Grapple Fans, to Tamura Generation versus Kevin Lloyd. Kevin Lloyd 1-0 up against Tamura, Japanese wrestling heavyweight champion from Pro Wrestling Heat in Japan, against Britain's Kevin Lloyd. And like we said at the beginning of the programme in the first match, next week we have Beat the Champion, main event, a gauntlet match. A 6-man gauntlet match will be between Tommy Jupiter, some international stars from Portugal, a few new stars that are coming in. So next week's main event, Beat the Champion, gauntlet match to decide the leg 1 winner of the new tournament after Slim Jim Brennan went undefeated and won the prize purse last week. And also, like we said earlier on in the programme, there'll be an announcement next week about one of the great 7 British wrestling belts that will be, one of them will be making a return to Union Wrestling. Find out which one next week on Union Wrestling TV on YouTube. And here we have a leg lock here by Kevin Lloyd. Looks like he's cinched that in quite tight. Focusing on the ankle as Tamura is starting to wiggle out of the manoeuvre. And Tamura gets a roll up. And only a 2 count. There was a possibility of a 3 there. Kevin Lloyd caught off guard, focusing too much on the ankle. And Kevin Lloyd now getting frustrated that wrestling Tamura is not producing the results he wants. Trying to be thuggish, but Tamura's showing that he can do exactly the same thing back. Oh! And that's unfortunate. That's a closed fist to the gut by Tamura Generation. And that's a public warning against Tamura Generation. I think it might be a misunderstanding of the British rules in the United Kingdom.
Yes, in Wales, Thomas.
And that's unfortunate. That might be a misunderstanding between the different rules in each country, but don't think Tamura meant anything malicious about that closed fist. But those kicks were definitely intended. Whip to the corner, back elbow. Tamura running to the ropes and dragging Kevin Lloyd to the canvas. Only for a 2 count though. On an armbar there by Tamura, wrenching that elbow back. Kevin Lloyd not quitting. Tamura's left leg based underneath the shoulder blade of Kevin Lloyd, trying to gain some type of leverage, and again now Tamura putting all of his weight onto the shoulder blades of Kevin Lloyd, yanking that arm back in a horrific position. That pectoral muscle of Kevin Lloyd looks like it's going to be weakened beyond belief. Damage like that could cause long-term damage for Kevin Lloyd. And back to the armbar. Tamura is really wrenching the arm of Kevin Lloyd here. And how Kevin Lloyd is not submitting to such a vicious submission move like that. Oh, and again, Tamura is he's relentless here. Tamura Generation is relentless. He is after that submission. And we're at the end of round 3. And that's saved by the bell. Absolutely saved by the bell, but I think the damage is done. That could be long-term damage to the pectoral muscles and shoulder muscles of Kevin Lloyd. Right, we'll be back after this message.
You're watching Union Wrestling on YouTube with Loser.
Ready for round 4. There commence
Round 4. Excellent, superb match here so far, but the score is still 1-0 to Kevin Lloyd. Tamura yet to score. We are in round 4. We're halfway through the contest. Possible of 6 rounds here today in this non-title contest. The Pro Wrestling Heat Heavyweight Championship of the Japanese Championship is not on the line here today. This is a non-title fight. And a quick roll up there by Kevin Lloyd sees him with only a 2. As you can see, even with that little break in between the rounds, that shoulder of Kevin Lloyd is a definite weak point. Though Kevin Lloyd has got a full Nelson, expertly applied against Tamura. Tamura finding his way out, but Kevin Lloyd immediately placing Tamura back into the full Nelson. Those hands of Kevin Lloyd locked to the top and back again, round the back of the neck of Tamura, and then yanking the back of his head down so Tamura's chin is into his chest, wrenching on the neck. Straight back in, Tamura trying to do something fancy there, but Kevin Lloyd measured Tamura up quite well, straight back into the full Nelson. Simple and effective manoeuvre. That's what we like. And Tamura, roll up. Oh, that could have been a 3 there. We've seen such a manoeuvre take big men down before, but not Kevin Lloyd. Oh, Inzaguri. Inzaguri kick to the side of the temple of Kevin Lloyd. Sends him a bit goofy. And a spinning reverse DDT by Tamura. And it is. That's a 3 count. Unsurprising there. That was a magnificent move by Tamura Generation. And that pinfall means that Tamura is now level with Kevin Lloyd. 1-4 apiece. We've got 2 rounds to go to find ourselves a winner in this international contest. We'll see you in a second.
Come on, guys, like, share, and subscribe.
Seconds out. He's ready. Okay, commence wrestling, round 5.
And here we are, round 5. 2 rounds to go. A possible 2 rounds to go. 1 fall is needed for the win. So 2 falls to a finish in these contests and British rules contests. And 1 more is required to decide the winner. Both men here have wrestled an excellent match, an excellent display of proper wrestling. Arm drag takeover by Kevin Lloyd. Placing Tamura into a painful armbar, I think. Tamura fighting back into a hammerlock. Kev Lloyd reaching round trying to find a body part of Tamura that's a bit loose that he can work on. And I think he's found it, and he has. Tripping over Tamura into a side headlock, and Tamura gets it straight back into a hammerlock. This is Tamura now showing his worth as a wrestler, showing Kevin Lloyd how he can match move for move what Kevin Lloyd can produce. Kevin Lloyd in the last round insisting on the full Nelson on Tamura. This time Tamura in this round, in round 5, is expertly applying the hammerlock, trying to snap that elbow around the back of Kevin Lloyd's body. And Kevin Lloyd throwing Tamura over the top rope, throwing him out of bounds. That is a public warning. There you go.
Public warning.
Thomas Phillpotts absolutely doing the right thing there. First public warning against Kevin Lloyd. We've seen in the last match how public warnings go if you're not careful. They can result in a disqualification.
Check.
But in this case, Tamura's still laid out on the floor. One of the seconds going in to make sure he's okay. Tamura's second there, Jude Price.
Go on, let him out.
Making sure Tamura gets him in the ring. And Kevin Lloyd, vicious kicks to the face. I know they're not against the rules. They're not written into British rules that straight kicks and stomps like that are against, but maybe they should be. And schoolboy roll up.
2 count only.
And then Tamura with a roll up again. Unlucky not to get a 3 there. And he tried. 3rd time's the charm. But yeah.
Only 2.
I doubt that was going to produce a 3 count there if the first 2 didn't succeed. Some people might even call that insanity if you try the same movements more than once or twice and still expect the same result. And he's going for a 4th time. That was so close. Was that a 3?
Only 2.
Phillpotts says it's 2.
Kicked out the ball.
Full Nelson by Kevin Lloyd. Full Nelson. He's returned back to the full Nelson there. Kevin Lloyd really he's worked on that neck all match. I don't know how much more Tamura can take. Kevin Lloyd is really wrenching that full Nelson down now on Tamura. His head is bending the wrong way, and there we go, that's it. Tamura's tapping, that's a submission there. Kevin Lloyd wins the match 2-1, even though one public warning against him. Right, ladies and gentlemen, that is us done for this week's edition of Union Wrestling. Next week, Beat the Champion Gauntlet match, 6-man Gauntlet match. We'll have news about one of the great 7 belts of the United Kingdom and possible return there. We can't wait to see you next Saturday here, YouTube TV. Right then, everybody, bye-bye.